I'm your dad, so you would think I would know the story of your life, but I don't really, do I?
No, because you're not. We're not together enough for us to know the story of each other's life.
4 years ago, I wasn't really in your life, and I came back into your life with the best of hopes for things, and after 4 years, I found out that things weren't exactly what I was told, and this story started forming around our lives, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Well, why do you want to do this? Because it's got to be hard for you.
It is very. I know that if my story is true, then since you have a secret family, that means I do too, and it's very important to me to help you find that family.
That wasn't important to you before. I mean, why is it so important to you now?
Because it really got into my head that your secret family is my secret family as well. Because before I didn't understand that. I didn't understand how if we had a secret family, I wouldn't understand why I would be told if I also have the secret family.
A weekend came where you started telling me why you had been mean to me for so long. Correct?
Correct.
That's when I learned about something called the family game, where you and your family would get around a dinner table and come up with ways to destroy my life. This is true.
Very true.
And you would talk about things, and I started slowly figuring out that you were only coming over doing what you were being told to do. You weren't coming over and doing it because you wanted to. You were just doing it because you were being told to. Someone was telling you. And then November 21st or 22nd came. I think it was 22nd because 23rd was the day. And all of a sudden you started telling me this story. Because it's been 7 months. Right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Pretty much became the only thing we talk about.
Mm-hmm. And before you started talking to me about this story, I didn't know you could speak. But all of a sudden, you became a boy who had spent the last summer, being taken to Freemason temples for rituals and hanging out with the leader of the organization named Mr. DeWitty, and him telling you about how you need to keep me out of his way because, I get in his way. But the big part of the story that came on November 22nd was that you and your entire family had been convinced by a man named Mr. DeWitty that I was going to cause the end of the world, so you had to get rid of me. And if you got rid of me, Mr. DeWitty was going to give you $20 million and a big giant house and Xboxes and friends and fortunes and fame, all for getting rid of me by November 23rd, when he told you that the pictures that his camera could see into the future was the end of the world that I was going to cause. Right before I came back into your life 4 years ago, apparently Mr. DeWitty was meeting at your mom's house and getting her to sign a contract to be a part of his organization to work with him to get me out of your life. And in return, he would set up everything for you guys, correct?
Correct.
That my whole life has been manipulated by a man named Mr. DeWitty, who controls the largest secret organization in the world?
Correct.
Right?
Right.
All for a secret, to protect a secret.
I was told that the family you believe was your family wasn't even your family at all.
And if they weren't my family, who were they?
They were people that were taking orders from Mr. DeWitty to just keep you in their house until you were 18. And that they could never be nice to you or tell you the truth.
And who told you this?
It was your mom and dad who told me.
The only time that I know of that you met my mom and dad was when you were a little baby and too young to remember. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about you meeting my mom and dad.
I was at my grandma's house, and then all of a sudden Mr. DeWitty came in.
Who was with them?
Your mom, dad, and sister.
How did you know who they were?
Because they were introduced.
By who?
By Mr. DeWitty. We talked about, we talked about you.
And they told you that I wasn't a real member of their family. What else did they tell you?
Well, your mom told me that she was really proud of how when she was with you when you were really young, that she gained the ability to paint.
Just by being around me.
Yes, when you were very little.
What else did they tell?
I remember being told that you were found in a field of crops.
Who told you that?
Mr. DeWitty told me that.
When did he tell you that?
He told me that right after your mom stopped speaking about how proud she was about being able to paint.
So, and then we went through this whole story where you told me about you going to the Mason Temple, and then you told me about meeting my parents, and you told me about like just all this other stuff, and your mom started blabbing the truth to you, didn't she?
Yes, she did. That you had a secret family out somewhere looking for you.
Looking for me.
Yes.
And how did she know this?
She was told it by Mr. DeWitty.
And what else did she tell you about this secret family?
That they were a lot like you.
Yeah, how?
And that when they had a job to do, they wouldn't finish until either they found proof that it was pointless or until their job was done.
And how did she know this?
She was told it by Mr. DeWitty.
And where did your mom tell you I really came from?
From a faraway land.
And did she tell you I was found, or did she tell you I was stolen?
Kidnapped.
How was I taken?
That Mr. DeWitty waged war on the place you were at, and while everyone was busy trying to fend off his forces, someone from his side took you away, under people, away, and no one noticed until it was too late.
And that's what your mom said about my life.
Yes.
A woman that I wasn't with for more than 2 months.